You held me back when I tried to move on from your life. So you stole my life for clarity. So hold me back, now you're here. Cause I'm mad, show no fear. Wanna let you know just how it felt. Oh no, 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 no. Don't you think we could? There's a way we could be. No, oh no, 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 no. I know the way you look at me, I know it too well. Now I'm bulletproof, you might find your gun, but I'm flying high. I'm bulletproof, don't let me touch the ground. You can never bring me down. You can never bring me down. Can never bring me down. Cause I'm bulletproof. Yeah, I'm bulletproof. We've been up, we've been down, trying to figure things out. End up losing myself in this but I'm done being done. Gotta end it all now. I won't never turn it round again. Oh no, 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 no. Don't you think we could? There's a way we could be. No, oh no, 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 no. I know the way you look at me, I know it too well. Now I'm bulletproof, you might find your gun, but I'm flying high. I'm bulletproof, don't let me touch the ground. You can never bring me down. You can never bring me down. Can never bring me down. Cause I'm bulletproof. Cause I'm bulletproof. Cause I'm bulletproof. Yeah, I'm bulletproof. You might find your gun, but I'm flying high. I'm bulletproof. Don't let me touch the ground. You can never bring me down. You can never bring me down. Can never bring me down. Now I'm bulletproof. You might find your gun, but I'm flying high. I'm bulletproof. Don't let me touch the ground. You can never bring me down. You can never bring me down. Can never bring me down. Cause I'm bulletproof. Yeah, I'm bulletproof. Cause I'm bulletproof.
Hello, 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 everyone. Happy Saturday. Wow, this week is it's speeding past, isn't it? Maybe I just feel like it's speeding past because I've been so, so busy. And even though I'm pretty much in the same time zone, being in Lisbon, but I don't know, man. Just everything with the Jubilee and coming here, and it just feels like it's speeding past to me. But welcome, welcome, welcome to today's Saturday podcast. Thumbs up, everyone. And once again, thank you so much for getting me to over 9,000 subscribers. I actually had almost 100 new subscribers just yesterday. So thanks a ton, everyone. And thank you for joining us today on this wonderful day, Lily's birthday, Lilibet Diana. All right, let's see who's here. See if I can spot any new names. Torma P. Don't think I've seen your name before. Hello. Des Max, I have seen your name before, but I feel like it hasn't popped up for a while. Thumbs up also if you like the new theme song. Thank you, Church Nelly, for opening the bar. You've opened the bar and the pharmacy as well, and the smoking lounge from the looks of all of those emojis. Thank you so much, Church Nelly. See who's here. Any other new names? Paul Charles. I'm wondering if Kate was looking at Harry in the church yesterday and not Meghan. She always wanted Harry and thinks she could have a Hollywood career. I mean, I don't know about all of that, but it definitely seems like she was looking over to their side. And what's so weird is that there are actually two different clips where you see her looking over, and William is just like head straight forward. In fact, almost everyone is head straight forward. No one else. There's no other footage of anybody else. Camilla, who was sitting on the left side of William, and also Anne, who was sitting on the right side of Kate. Nobody else looks to the other side. No one. Everybody else is eyes straight ahead. She's the only one that looked over. So it was just very awkward. Afternoon. I wonder if Harry and Meghan know there is 90,000 raised in Archie and Lily's neck. Is that how much we've raised? Do you know what? I'm so bad. I haven't even checked the World Central Kitchen fundraiser. How much are we on, guys and dolls? Is it on 90,000? Like, wow. Well, I'm sure they do know, because they definitely knew about CampFed. They matched the money, and they've said thank you for the charitable things that we've done in the past. So Invictus Games, Harry specifically didn't put anything out publicly, but the Invictus Games did say thank you to the squad for the money that we raised at the squadathon. So I'm sure they do know. I'm sure their people tell them about the nicer things that go on. Hello from hot Texas, 120 heat. Wow. Wow. Thank you to here we go. Carmen Jones, new member, welcome. Welcome, my dear. Much appreciated. Who else is here? Okay, I think I see almost all of the usuals. So with that, I think we will get started. So first thing I wanted to talk about was, if I can just find my slides. Yeah, the booing. So in yesterday's podcast, I had said that there had been booing from literally 2 or 3 people as Harry and Meghan exited. Now, I shall make a correction because that was wrong. The footage that I saw, I now believe to have been doctored, because initially when I saw that footage, what I didn't realize was that footage, specifically the one that I saw with the booing, was from the Daily Fail. That was the Daily Fail's footage. And there was also other footage from the Express that showed booing. Now, I didn't watch the actual live feed of them leaving, so I didn't know what the sounds were. But having watched back the live feed and having watched back other people's videos, it seems there was no booing at all when Harry and Meghan came out. But however, the booing that did ensue was when there was a bus that got in the way when it came to pick people up, and that's when people started booing. And also the booing from towards Boris Johnson. That was, there's no argument as to whether or not he was booed, but it would appear that that video, or all the videos of Harry and Meghan being booed, were doctored, because if you listen to all of the live feed, both when they're going in and when they're going out, you can't hear any booing. And in fact, there's other footage of them on their way to the ceremony when people realized that they were in the car, where they were also cheered and no boos. So once again, the British press, trying to create a false narrative. And this was from E. Holmes, who posted on her Instagram, posting my author video here for the sound, because I know there have been questions about how Harry and Meghan were received. We were surrounded by people in both spots who were cheering for the Sussexes. Listen to the guy shouting Harry and lamenting. And the church bells took over almost everything. They were very loud, but there were no boos. And in fact, when you watch back some of the commentary, even the journalists on the ground and the commentators who were talking live, nobody said Harry and Meghan were booed. Even the Sky News feed, you can hear. I think it's Kay Burley or someone very excited because Harry waved at some people that were outside. So they had to find something to turn this into a negative, and they couldn't find anything, so they manufactured something. But on to the nicer, that's all I wanted to say about that. And we'll get on to the nicer things once I've caught up with your comments. Anna, are you in San Francisco? No. I'm still in Europe. I'm in Lisbon. Why did you think I was in San Francisco? I tell you what, though, the streets in part of Lisbon are very much like San Francisco. Very, very steep in some places. Yes, shout out to all the marvelous moderators. You have been doing the Lord's work, especially the last 2 days when we've seen an influx of trolls, both during lives and also in the comment section. I have no idea why they bother, because I will literally just delete your comment, or the mods will delete your comment, or and block you. Yes, Sherry Ware. I believe that the head straight ahead was 100% planned, but Catherine didn't understand the assignment. Paul Charles, I think the rumors of Harry and William's Zooming, chatting is a lie. Both of them have distance between them, and it shows. Exactly. I 100% knew that those headlines were a lie. It was so obvious. We haven't seen them interacting at all, and there haven't even been any fake headlines trying to put the two of them in the same place in private. So I 100% believe that the space, as Harry said himself in the Oprah interview, between William and Harry is still very much there, especially with the whole issue of Jason Knopf being involved in Meghan's court case. That doesn't seem to have been addressed. Anyway, let's get on to the nicer things. Yes, Lilibet Diana's first birthday. We haven't seen them yet. The new pictures, if at all there will be any. Maybe by tomorrow or after the Queen's Jubilee, we may see them. Who knows? It's up to Harry and Meghan, but she is indeed one. And but the one picture that we do have of her is here. That was from the Christmas card with her cute little button nose. I can't get over the cute little button nose. That's just where my eyes go, to the button nose. And I'm pretty sure, I think it's safe to assume that little Lilibet probably met big Lilibet. But we'll wait and see if we get any new pictures. Yes, Jubilee, everything that the UK press say is a lie. Joan, can you still donate to World Central Kitchen? I believe that you can. Sorry, I will repost the link in the community tab later on. I just don't want to leave the window that I have open at the moment. Oh, hello, Effany Green. Effany Green, did you join members about a day ago? Because that's what the dashboard is showing me. Welcome if you just joined or you joined a while ago. I don't think I acknowledged you, so sorry about that. Edith, oh hello Edith, how are you, darling? It was the Daily Express, Dan Wooten, and Fox News that stated the fake doctored video and report. Oh, I can imagine. Okay, and Lilibet actually shares a birthday with Miss Angelina Jolie. And I also learned that Archie apparently shares a birthday with George Clooney. So born on the days of stars, those kids. But happy birthday to Angelina Jolie, also one of my favorite movie stars. The royal family did indeed wish Lilibet happy birthdays on their socials. This is like Do you know what this reminds me of? It's like when you forget someone's birthday and you buy them a card like an hour before you're meant to see them or something. It almost looks like bots tweeted this, and of course they have no pictures. No there because I can't imagine that Sussex's. I don't actually think that anyone other than the Queen has even seen Lilibet on Zoom. But yeah, they did put out some tweets. So yeah, that is that. Also, in some good news, Dior tweeted about Meghan. This is not the first time that Meghan has worn Dior. I believe that she wore that beautiful, I think it was like a navy like dress at a service while she was still a working royal. And I very much admire Dior for sticking by her and singing her praises and not worrying about what the haters had to say, because I do think that there were certain brands on platforms that did not want to have Meghan shown on their platform because of the amount of hate that it brought. But they have continued to support her, and she, she always looks lovely in what they're wearing, and they're now benefiting from it because almost everything she wears sells out. Okay. Miss P talks. Well, they all put out celebrations first, but yeah, they did. And my little button nose has the cutest smile. I can imagine the smell of her baby lotion. Babies do have that sweet smell. Let's see. No one mentioned that Mr. Earflop. Is that what we're calling it? I thought we're calling it Earthworm. Flew his helicopter to the Jubilee. Same project he gave himself the BAFTA for. Wow, I didn't know about that. Wait, where was he? That he would need to fly into London on a helicopter. Strange. Armor, I think the picture that comes out will be of the Queen with all her great grandchildren. Well, no, because I don't think it will be all of them together. Because, for example, today, George and Charlotte were at an event. They took the children. So I don't know if there's been a situation where all of the children can come together for one big photo, if you're including Archie and Lily in what you're saying, because George and Charlotte were with their parents in Cardiff today. Malone, I hope the Sussexes are already on the flight home. No need to hang around now that the kids got their pictures with the Queen. Yeah, so tonight is actually the big concert. Now, apparently, this particular concert, out of all of the Jubilee celebrations, out of the 1 billion that we're spending, this particular concert is being privately funded, or so they're saying. But even still, I would argue you have the money to spend on millions on a concert, but not the average British person. Beverly, they have the same person in Buckingham Palace writing on these sites. Purely lazy people. I think so. Very bad social media managers. Poetry is polite. The Queen is so sus. She didn't come to her own celebrations, which would only leave more light for H&M criticism. I don't think it would leave any more room for criticism. I just think that she probably just wanted to spend time with her grandkids. That's all. Maureen saw a headline on Yahoo saying H&M rejected the dinner because they were booed. Yeah, I think they're just gonna try and find anything to spin this into a negative, but ultimately, this has been a very successful trip for the Sussexes, and I think it's made them mad. Yes, Meghan was absolutely stunning in her outfit. So yeah, the concert is tonight, and I'm not actually. I actually think that the concert is going on right now. I saw Omid tweet something, them doing like sound checks and the crowds coming in. So yeah, I believe the concert is actually going on right now as we speak. But I won't be watching it. I'll just be looking at the pictures tomorrow. CNN had a very interesting article about young people and their opinions on the Jubilee, and leading with, I couldn't care less what some young Britons think of the Queen's Platinum Jubilee. The article says, ahead of the Platinum Jubilee, CNN spoke to several Britons under the age of 30 living across London, the epicenter of festivities, about their views. Josie Watson, 25, won't be tuning in to watch the £15 million privately funded People's Pageant Festival on Saturday night, which will feature, among others, a 20-foot tall puppet of the Queen as a princess with an entourage of corgi puppets. Wow. A dancing wedding cake, and singer Ed Sheeran. Instead, the highlight of her weekend will be going to see ABBA Voyage, a concert performed by holographic apparitions of the Swedish pop band with her mum. Watson said that she is apathetic about the Jubilee because she doesn't see the point in celebrating someone who was just born into a family and assigned a role. It's great to see that some people are actually, you know, saying these things and using their brains. The tech journalist lives in Ealing, a district in West London, where 154 street parties will be hosted by residents, among the most to be held in any London borough this weekend. Now, I haven't. I mean, I've seen a couple of pictures of people on, picnic tables and with the bunting out, but not to the level as even, I have to say, even Kate and William's wedding. Like, I think some people are having Jubilee parties, but it's relatively muted. And Watson then goes on to say, despite having grown up in a family that is pro-monarchy, she believes that young people are disconnected with the royal family because they've never lived in a time where their leadership has meant much. They served their purpose to provide patronism and leadership during wartime, but now priorities have shifted, she added. And even with that, I would say, patronism and leadership during wartime. I mean, after you've been through a war, you need the country to be physically rebuilt. You need people to be able to get back to normal life. And I find it very weird that people just like the feeling of or just having these kind of like leaders to look up to. I've always find it very, very strange that is enough for people. This kind of figurehead to look at, like that is enough for you. How can that be enough for you when you can't feed your family, when you're struggling to live? And that's, I think, more than anything, that's what I find so weird about monarchists and royalists. And you'll hear them say things like, oh, the Queen provides a soothing, calm voice. If I wanted a soothing, calm voice, I'd download the Calm app and listen to a meditation. People need jobs. They need jobs that pay well. They need to be able to provide for their families. They need to be able to live lives that don't center around working overtime because you can't pay your gas bill and pay for groceries. So I'm glad that people are starting to question this whole idea of just having a figurehead, and somehow that is enough to make you feel better. It's almost like believing in fairies in a way. Anyway, the article also then goes on to say, polling suggests attitudes towards the royal family among young people in Britain have shifted since 2019, the year after Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's wedding, a union which raised hopes that they would reshape the royal family in their own contemporary and inclusive image. Polling by YouGov indicated that 46% of 18 to 25-year-olds thought the monarchy should continue, while 26% said the country should have an elected head of state, and 28% were unsure. And there was somebody else in the article who said that his childhood wasn't filled with memories of the Queen, and his family were far from royalists, but his mum is still going to a Jubilee gathering on their street, he said, mostly because it's a good excuse for a party. I mean, I can find a good excuse for a party on any day of the year. But anyway, like many other young Britons, MacDonald said that the monarchy, whose wealth and power is linked to a legacy of British colonialism, has failed to modernize and is disconnected from today's multicultural Britain. The 29-year-old ceramicist said he thought the royal family, with its history of militarism and imperialism, was undemocratic and should be abolished, not celebrated in a 4-day Jubilee holiday across the UK. Amen to that. And these were the sights in Liverpool. The hordes of people showing up for the. Now, to be honest, I don't know what time of the day these pictures were taken. Could it have been that there were crowds at other times and someone just happened to snap this when it was empty? I don't know. Here were the sights from Perth, Australia. They had a whole TV screen set up with a stage, and it didn't seem like anybody was there. And on the screen, that does in fact look like the live feed of the church ceremony, and there was almost no one watching. And I have to say, I think the majority of the celebrations and excitement, though muted, is just coming from within the UK. If this was meant to be a celebration of 70 years of the Queen and apparently what she's done for people, and people are apparently so happy about what she's done, then the whole Commonwealth should be lit up. And I don't see parties happening across the Commonwealth, even in Australia. Just mute, silence. Now, Andrew Neil, this agent of chaos, he wrote an article titled "The Jubilee Shows the UK is not the divided nation that the woke think it is." And somebody tweeted his evidence of this: one black guy in the crowd dressed like a dressed like a Nigel Farage fever dream. He then goes on to divide the nation between woke and other. Now, this guy, I believe, shows up to quite a few royal events, and I think he was at Harry and Meghan's wedding wearing the same outfit. Now, as I have said many, many times before, and I will say again and say forever, you can be anti-monarchy and proudly British. Those two things are not mutually exclusive. And there are many people who are actually very nationalist, very right wing, who still don't like monarchy, especially now when they don't feel that the monarchy is even upholding what they would, I guess, class as traditional British values. So I think it's very misplaced of Andrew Neil, and obviously this is all just clickbait, to say that because there are some people who don't want to celebrate the Jubilee, that the nation is divided. We're allowed to have individual opinions about different social and political aspects of British life. And it is just silly to say that everybody who is against the Jubilee or against the monarchy as an institution is anti-British. That is just not true at all. And I believe that that's what he's trying to insinuate with this. And yes, he chose that one. This picture was actually used in the article. Of course, he chose that picture. And we know why. All right, let's go to your comments before I continue. Let's see. Fran, oh, let's have a look here. Fran Cilia, the children look very stressed at the outing. Yes. So this is George and Charlotte at the outing with their parents. I believe that royal children should not do. They should not have to act like diplomats. and engage with the public. I just don't. I think it's a very cruel thing to expect children to engage like diplomats, shaking the hands of, members of the public, um, doing that level of emotional work for the public, making children do that, making children put on a smiley face in front of cameras, I think is just so cruel. I don't think that royal children should have to do any type of formal engagement until at least they're 18. And even then they should have to want to do it. It shouldn't be out of duty, because we have no idea what goes on in the private lives of these people. But if we're taking from what we can see publicly, especially in regards to William and Kate's marriage, I can't imagine what it's like to be a child seeing your parents go through that and then being pushed out in front of the cameras and forced to smile and wave and shake hands with members of the public. I think you're right. They did look very stressed, and it just shouldn't be allowed. These children need to be allowed to be children. And I think it's why Harry fought so hard, or one of the reasons why Harry fought so hard for his children not to be involved in what he rightly said was the business model. This is not a family, and they have not learned from the past. And unfortunately, I think those children are going to be, if they're not already, emotionally damaged and in need of a lot of emotional help and support. Paul, I think Harry and Meghan will use a photo of Lilibet and the Queen and Archie's family picture will be used as a Christmas card this year. Some people have said that. It would be a nice idea. Definitely be a nice idea. Legs, where were the British media to highlight the abuse that Louis dealt with during the Chipping of the Colour? Do you know what I found so disturbing about the whole thing was, if you actually look at the headlines about Louis and him closing his ears, the way they spun it, it was like, oh, Louis steals the show. Louis is, they almost tried to spin it like a meme, when actually what you had was a bunch of grown-ups standing around a child that was clearly distressed, and they were ignoring his distress. I found it very disturbing. Cookies and Cream, the Unroyal family and their thugs know that the Sussexes were not booed. They're upset because they no longer have control of the Sussexes and the narrative. Indeed. And there's so many of us now who are taking charge of the narrative. I mean, there's over 1,200 people in the chat today. There was over 1,600 in the chat yesterday. That's almost a tenth of what Piers Morgan was getting on his show. And Piers Morgan is a huge personality. So can you imagine this time next year, this channel could be getting more live viewers than Piers Morgan's Talk TV show? Just wild. And it indeed proves that we are now a very important part of the royal news cycle. Dolores, if I remember, Harry was the one that introduced Zara to Mike. Really? I'll look more into that. Then why did Mike decide to be so rude? I mean, I think we all saw when they came out of the church service yesterday, Harry was talking to Zara, completely and utterly ignored Mike, because Mike has made some pretty sly comments before. Marilyn Matthews, I don't get why Harry and Meghan went to the UK. Such a big deal was made for them to be low key. What was the point? They could take Lee to see Liz anytime. They can take her to see Liz when they want. Like, who are we or anybody to dictate when they can take their child to see their grandmother? They had the right to go. and they are still they're no longer working roles, but they're still part of the family. And it's pretty obvious at this point that the Queen wanted them there. And the big deal that you're talking about, well, that was made by the media, not by Harry and Meghan. So I have to disagree with that comment, I'm afraid. Poetry is polite. I just saw a picture of the Cambridges at the concert with black people placed behind them. I swear they run into black people every time they fumble the ball. Oh God. I can't believe that they're still doing that. It's just like, let it go. Stop using people of color as props. It looks so distasteful. Miss P talks. My problem with this Jubilee is they keep saying she works hard. What work has she done? Indeed, I'm still waiting for anybody to give me um, a clear example of the impact that the Queen has had in her lifetime. Because I can give you clear examples of the impact that Harry and Meghan have had as a couple during their time as working royals. Meghan even before she was a royal, and Harry from the time he was a teenager, started centre ballet at 19. Harry and Meghan have done more combined in their short lifetime than the Queen has in her 70 years. So yeah, I'm still waiting for somebody to give me a clear answer as to what Betty has done in 70 years other than stay alive, wave, and cut ribbons. Look at the crowd of invisible men. Amigo, William is giving a speech. Yes, I heard that William and Charles would be giving a speech today. And apparently Ed Sheeran is serenading the Queen. Yeah, Diane Hawkins. The Perth photo is disturbing. Jane Cornwell thought they expected billions to watch. No, people are busy. People are very busy. Wendy, I still think the large crowds in London are tourists, possibly. Well, I think a mixture of tourists and some local jazz. Every circus has at least one clown, indeed. And that guy wanted to be the clown. Lucy, we need to send him a book by the late Malcolm X. I agree. 100% agree. No parties in Australia is a mic drop. Australia is considered the jewel in the crown by the establishment. Note, I stress establishment, not people. 100%. I didn't see anything coming out of Canada either. Seems to be silence from over there. Paul, many British people see that Harry and Meghan are the true king and queen. And king and queen of the people, not of the institution. Okay, so moving on to Piss Moron, who is still hanging on by a thread to his almost finished career. Now, he did an interview with one of the thousands of royal, so-called royal biographers and royal experts who seem to know everything about what's going on with the royal family, even though even though they are not part of the royal family and seem to talk from their necks and never actually have any facts. So he was talking to Piers Moron and he said, to see her smiling through the open window of a car, making sure she's seen without any contrition whatsoever, just shows what a brazen hussy she is. So Meghan looking out of a window and interacting with some children apparently makes her a hussy. Well, somebody please tell me what I am then, because I've looked out of many windows in my lifetime. This right here is not journalism. This is bullying. This is outright bullying. This is not intellectual critique. This is not anything other than attacking a woman literally for breathing. Literally for breathing. Now, Piers Morgan has continued his blocking spree, blocking more blue ticks. And Femi here said, claims to be all about free speech, but then blocks me for telling him to oppose the ban on shouting at protests. Ellie Barker tweeted this brilliant tweet. She said, remember when Piers Morgan hacked into the phone of a murdered 12-year-old girl? He's referring to Millie Dowler there. Well, okay, I should say he didn't personally hack into her phone, but he was head editor at the newspaper that did hack into her phone. Derailed a murder inquiry, let Levy Betfield go free to kill again, smeared Liverpool fans, attacked the Hillsborough families, mocked mental illness, Morgan is a ghoul, shun him, and all the Murdoch rags. 100% I agree. When I look at those list of things, it's incredible to me that Morgan has managed to create the career that he has, despite the fact that he tends to just go from one failure to the other. And he's been able to do it because both the press institution that he's in, have propped him up, and his followers, who really just love hatred and misery, have also propped him up. But he, I think, has very much gone on the wrong side of his followers for numerous reasons. And they now, I think, are even bored and unimpressed by him. And that is why his viewership is dwindling so much. And as Matthew Payne said, for a bloke that had 2 people and a dog watching his talk TV show, Piers Morgan has had a bit too much to say, most of it ill-informed, pointless, and spiteful. And I think people are just getting bored. You know, what does he have other than yelling at Meghan and Harry and talking about the usual culture war talking points that are just played out and boring at this point? So yeah, that is that. Yes, Lynn, children are meant to be children. Let them enjoy their childhood. You know, I feel like this whole thing of, you know, you're going to be king one day and you must start your duties. You're just setting those royal children up for failure. You're setting them up for failure. Like, that is not good for anybody's mental health or personal growth. And look at what it's done to William. Joyce, those children were used as buffers between the parents today so that William and Kate don't have to interact with each other. I agree. That's what I saw when I looked at those pictures. Carmen Jones, the fools planned their hands wrong. They didn't read the room. They should have embraced Meg. She is the one with star power and has international acclaim. I 100% agree. This might as well have been Harry and Meghan's Jubilee. Thank you so much. 1,300 in the chat, everyone. Please do thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. See if we can get to 9,500 by the end of the month. And Carmen, the royals live in a bubble and think more of themselves than anybody else. Indeed. I do think that those children are going to make a dash for it. I'll be calling Uncle Harry, can I please escape to Santa Barbara? Valerie, Harry left the UK and returned as a self-made millionaire with his wife and kids. Indeed. Legs, I hope that people have receipts of these royal experts. I am from the US and don't understand why people listen to people without credentials. If they were weather people, they would be fired. Indeed. I think that maybe for people in other countries, some people they hear a posh British accent, and that posh British accent calls itself a royal expert, and they just believe it. They don't question anything. I have to say though, I am seeing some of the royal rodents who were quite regularly on international TV, particularly in the US. I'm seeing them less and less. I'm seeing less of the likes of Camilla Tominey, Victoria Arbiter. You still see them pop up every now and again, especially that Angela Levin woman. But I think with Angela, it's more because she's actually directly working with Camilla to do her biography. Otherwise, I think even she would have been pushed to the side already. And I do feel that her time is coming. Mm, Let's see what else you're saying. I just want to make sure that I get through your comments. Truthfully, I'm no fan of the Queen royal family fan, by the way, but Harry may not get another chance to see Queenie with babies. Yeah, I think so. Um, there's what we think of the Queen personally and what we think of how she's handled the situation, but there's also the personal relationship that Harry has with his grandmother, and we don't get a say over that. Mary says Sussexes are not at the concert either. Why? I don't particularly think they need to be at the concert, to be honest. I think they've got better things to do. And in any case, I don't think it would look good on them um, to be at the concert. Remember that all of this is still happening on the backdrop of a cost of living crisis. So actually, I think them just showing up very discreetly to the parade and to the church service, I think that's enough. Um, and I I just don't think they need to show up to all of the other pomp and pageantry. I think the fact that they've been very discreet and very low key, it's almost taken the heat off of them. Because remember that there are a lot of people that are just still angry that this whole thing is going on. And I don't think I would want Harry and Meghan to be front and center at things like the concert. Yeah. Lorna, Leslie, please don't listen to this moron, or you end up getting a new TV because you because you threw something at it. Yes, please don't listen to Piss Moron. Just come here and listen to me, or listen to Baron, who I think also has a live chat later on today. I think his is at midnight UK time, the last I checked. Let's see. Um, Poetry is polite. Morgan is cursing his own life and his children is biblical. Honey, I feel like almost everything that is happening with this strange family is biblical. I mean, please try and tell me that um, Harry and William isn't literally Cain and Abel. I am literally expecting locusts to fly across London this evening and ruin that whole concert. Um, Lorna Morgan stole Diana's stuff after her death, according to byline investigations. There are videos of Morgan talking obsessively about Diana, and I think that a lot is going to come out during that trial. And I really do believe that that trial is going to be the final nail in the coffin, because I think if they can prove that Morgan did Diana dirty, no one's gonna want to work with him or talk to him at all. I feel like us who are in this royal bubble and who read things like Byline Investigates, we know, but because it hasn't really been printed in mainstream press, especially British press, I think the wider public don't know. So I need for that court case to come quickly. so that we can help Morgan put all his stuff in his 3 trash bags and throw him out. Let's see. All right. What else did I have to say? That was pretty much it. Um, so yeah, I think we'll end with your comments and wrap it up and call it a day. Happy birthday once again to Miss Lily Diana. And yes, please do keep donating to our Central Kitchen. I will post the link again in the community tab. And thank you, as always, everyone, new members and mods. You always do a fantastic job. And yeah, make sure to go over to Baron later on, because I'm sure he'll probably have more updates from the concert and stuff, because I'm not staying up to watch it. So I'll give my thoughts on that tomorrow. Okay. Oh, and also another thing that happened after the whole that royal expert calling Meghan a brazen hussy, there was lots of women who started putting the words brazen hussy in their bios. It kind of reminded me of when they called Hillary Clinton. What did they call her? Was it a difficult woman? Something like that. So yeah, that's also happening. If anybody wants to put the word brazen hussy in their bio. Charles Morgan is afraid of the court case. He knows he will lose, but he'll settle out of court. I think the Sussexes have proven that they're not the settle out of court type of people. They're going to take it all the way until the end. And I think for Harry, he wants to avenge his mother. So I don't see them settling out of court. Thank you so much, Carmen. Thank you so much for coming and listening. Could be anywhere else, but you are here with me. Oh, was it Nasty Woman? Yes, that's what it was. It was Nasty Woman. Yes. Yes, hashtag brazen hussy. Brazen hussy is the new Nasty Woman. All right, who's going to get the last word of the day? Cookies and cream, I'll give it to you. Everyone, please stay safe, pray, and hydrate. Amen. Will I see you all tomorrow? I don't think I'm doing anything tomorrow. Tomorrow's actually a bit of a rest day for me. So maybe if I do a podcast tomorrow, it'll be a very short one, like a short update one. So I'll see you tomorrow, maybe. And if I don't, I'll see you on Monday. Love you all, everyone. Bye.
I know I messed it up, but in my soul, I feel a love for you that's out of control. Sometimes I feel like I can make you whole. I just can't.